pretty cool tips, tricks, and hidden features on this guy, the PlayStation 5, along with some vouchers to give away to you guys. But probably one of the coolest things about the PS5 are the DualSense controllers. These guys are packed with a ton of features, starting off with the new addition of a microphone on the controller, so you don't necessarily need a headset anymore. The mic is also not only used for talking, but in some games you have to blow in the mic to complete certain tasks, and this just blows my mind. But as mentioned, this is a microphone, so you can use it in place of a headset, chat to your buddies, and hear them through the onboard speaker. You also have a mute button for the mic, so if you just tap on that, it'll light up orange, and then you know your mic is muted, and just tap it again to turn it off. A great way to really experience all these amazing features the DualSense controllers have is to jam the game called Astro's Playroom. It comes on the PS5, and this game was developed specifically to experience all the amazing features of the DualSense controllers, like this trigger intensity, the haptics, vibration, and so much more. Then, a super hidden design feature that you may not have known is if you take a super close look at the texture grip on the back of the controller, you'll see the almost microscopic detail of PlayStation's signature X's, O's, triangles, and squares etched into the plastic to create a super unique grip texture. I personally think this is such a great touch and possibly a good way to tell fakes from originals, because not only is this detail on the console itself, but it's also etched on all the accessories like the controllers, media remote, and even charging station. So PlayStation have made it surprisingly easy to clean and maintain your PlayStation 5 by being able to remove both of these white side panels. So once you've done that, you can then go ahead and vacuum up the fans, as well as remove any dust from both the dust catchers on either side. Now, of course, when doing this, just be patient and take your time, but basically you lift the side by the PlayStation logo and slide down to remove the white panel, and then you will see the guts of your PlayStation 5 where the fan is and both the dust catchers. Once you vacuum those up, you can turn over your console and do the exact same thing on the opposite side, and ultimately just maintain your PS5 so it'll last you for years. Then, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes searching for games using the controller can be so tedious and time consuming. You've got to go through the entire keyboard one by one using your controller, but there are 4 other options you can use. First up is the D-pad on the controller, and this basically works like a mouse pad. You can hover around and click down to select your letters. The second way is by installing the PS Remote Play app, connecting it to your PS5, and then using your phone as the controller. And what's nice about this is when you get to the search section or somewhere that needs text, your phone's keyboard will automatically appear and you can just type in what you're looking for. Or if you have a Bluetooth keyboard like I have here with a dongle, you can pop that dongle into the back of your PS5 and use your keyboard to type out exactly what you want. And a standard Bluetooth keyboard should also work. Then lastly, the other option is to use speech to text. If you click on this little mic icon, you can speak directly into the remote control, and automatically, of course, it'll convert your speech to text, and this is by far the easiest way to do it. A pretty damn cool feature of the PS5 is being able to play your games remotely using your phone or even a computer. It's super duper simple. Just make sure you have the PS Remote Play app downloaded and installed on your phone, then open it up and make sure you connect it to your PS5 console. Once you've done that, this screen will appear and you are good to go. You can start jamming your game straight away on your phone just like this, but I will say it is a little tricky, and unfortunately at the moment you cannot connect your DualSense controller, but if you have a DualShock controller, that'll work perfectly fine, and by clicking on this little controller icon, it'll run you through all the steps to connect it to your phone, and then you can jam as much as you want. And using the controller is so much easier than trying to jam using the controls on your screen. So if you have a pretty solid Wi-Fi connection as well as your phone and controller, you can play from just about anywhere, which is pretty nifty. Now, unlike Xbox controllers, these ones don't come with removable batteries where you can just replace them. So if you ever find your controller dying mid-game, then I highly suggest you get one of these cables. This is a standard USB to USB Type-C cable that you plug into the back of your controller so you can jam when you're all out of battery power. So as you can see, the big difference is the cable is much longer. So you don't have to sit on top of your TV when you want to jam some games. But if you're tired of constantly having to plug in your controllers to recharge them, then I highly suggest you get one of these. This is the PlayStation DualSense charging station and is used to plug in your controllers and charge them when you're not using them. I personally love this accessory and I'll have a link to it down below. Another big bonus to having this charging station is, as you can see, it is a great way to store and display your DualSense controllers. You may not know, but the PlayStation 5 can now run games in 4K resolution at 120 frames per second with full support for HDR. So because of that, Sony went ahead and made a bunch of brand new TVs that are all PlayStation 5 ready. So if you're ever keen on getting that full gaming experience, you might want to check out a TV like this. This is the Sony Bravia X90H TV, and as mentioned, you can play games in 4K 120 frames per second with support for HDR. Not only that, it also has motion smoothness, Dolby Atmos audio, Android TV, and even Apple TV built in. Depending on what games you play, the PS5 will automatically have the resolution set to 4K and the frame rate to 120 Hz so long as the game supports that. And here is a beautiful example of what a difference 120 Hz makes. So if you're upgrading to the PS5 from a PS4, chances are you already have a hard drive or SSD with a bunch of games on it. And what's nice about the PS5 is it is backwards compatible. So you can just go ahead, pop it in the back, and then start playing some games instantly. But what's not nice about the PS5 is you can't do this with PS5 games yet. At least you can save on some storage space for now. So if you do want to take advantage of an SSD, head on over to settings and scroll down until you see storage. Once in there, make sure you select extended storage, then you can go ahead, format your SSD and load up those PS4 games. And hopefully with the future updates, we'll be able to do this with PS5 games too. Did you know the PlayStation 5 is not just a gaming console, but it also has an entire media area on it for some good old entertainment? That's right, guys. Right at the top of your home screen, next to games, you'll see this media option. And if you tap on that, you'll have access to Netflix, Apple TV, Prime Video, YouTube, and so much more. Plus, you can even download extra applications. And an awesome accessory to add to the entire media mix is this accessory, the PS5 Media Remote. So if you're as much into your media as you're gaming, this remote is the perfect accessory to access those streaming services and navigate the media area. Not only that, this remote can completely replace your original TV's remote depending on what TV model you've got, which is pretty cool. Then onto some quick tips, and if you're busy jamming a game but want to switch it up, go ahead, click that PlayStation icon, and then at the bottom you will see this switcher icon. Tap on that and then select one of your most recent games, click play, and then straight away it'll launch the game so you can start playing without having to navigate the entire menu. This is much the same as Xbox's quick resume. Then if you ever wanted to capture some gameplay, just by clicking this capture button, it'll open up this little menu where you can choose to capture a screenshot or screen recording. Once you've started the recording, you'll see a little countdown timer right at the top, and if you ever want to stop, just click the same button and stop recording. Then if you ever want to quickly get back to the home screen, you can just click and hold down on the PlayStation icon and Vabam, it'll take you back in seconds. Then finally, to turn off your controller and save on that battery life, if you click and hold down on the PlayStation and capture button at the same time, your remote controller will power down. So I have some PlayStation gift cards that I want to give away to you guys. With these PlayStation gift cards, you can buy games, add-ons, and even subscriptions to online play. It's super duper simple. All you have to do is try out some of these codes. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see some more tech tips and tricks, then don't forget to like and subscribe, or you can check out some of my other videos right over here. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Toodles!